Hi guys, it's September 28th, 2012 at 5 o'clock p.m. Actually, 4:49. Got a minute away. Finally back in Florida, and what an amazing past couple of weeks this has been to get to this point. Thank you, everyone, for your help and participation and donations to get me across the country and into Asheville and uh, doing what those of us who gathered there and were called to gather there had to go do. Um, that was quite an amazing experience, but something that it seems, and I'm going to come out and say it because so many people felt it and we talk about it behind the scenes, but we don't sometimes speak about it in the open while we're at these gatherings. A lot of times we come into a Star Knowledge conference, and the area that we're doing ceremony at is not in the highest vibrations, and neither are the people in the surrounding area where we're there. And the first day that we do ceremony, a lot of times our our light is being sent and channeled out into everybody around, as well as to Mother Earth in the area where we're doing ceremony. And we always leave a vortex form there from our higher vibrations and from those of us of the higher vibrations gathering and doing our unified focus in the ceremonies. And that embeds into Mother Earth. At the same time, we're releasing old traumas and old emotional recordings, if you will, that's been programmed into Mother Earth by um, previous battles, like where we were in North Carolina. That was where the Cherokee began walking the Trail of Tears, where they were moved from their land back in the 1830s, 40s by Andrew Jackson, who I'm a descendant of, and I'm also a registered Cherokee. Uh, and so, and I believe that Andrew Jackson, from my research into what he did, I believe that Andrew Jackson was trying to save the Cherokee and the Choctaw and the Chickasaw and all the others that walked the Trail of Tears and that were moved from the east. They were trying to save them from mass genocide. I think that's the reason why the Cherokee are still here, and that's just my belief after studying his work and understanding what was going on at that time in history. The other thing that Andrew Jackson did was try to keep what we now have as the Federal Reserve and the Rothschild banking system out of the United States at that time. He was a pretty amazing warrior, and trying to do the best he could in an area of in a time of real darkness in the United States. Um, anyway, a lot of times these emotional traumas are embedded into the ground where we're doing ceremony, and as we come in holding the higher vibrations, in each of us being conduits, we are sending out the light to Mother Earth and out to humanity around, and at the same time, we're picking up those lower vibrations and channeling that back out to the ether and to the angels or Archangel Michael or whoever we individually work with to rid the area of negativity and raise the vibration. We have to remove the lower vibrations to be able to put in the higher vibrations. It's just how it works. It's the same thing within us as we go through our enlightenment process and our activation on a personal level. It was a little bit more intense at the beginning of this ceremony that I felt, and after talking to other people later on, and after the gathering was through, even during the gathering, the first day, there were many of us that were experiencing the same things, and that's neat to be able to, share our experiences with each other and go, man, And I felt some heavy energies coming through me, and kind of drained me a little bit. And to hear other people saying, "Yeah, it was me too," and and so you don't feel so out of place and alone. Um, as we left conference and I got back to Florida and was describing what I had experienced with so many other people, this was not just a localized event in Asheville at the Star Knowledge Conference, although it seems that we were being attacked on an astral level with from the dark side. That seems to be something that was going on there, and something that was going on globally with others that were doing fall equinox ceremonies. Not everybody felt this. I've talked to many people that said they didn't feel any of that at all, but it was interesting that some of us did, and that a good part of us did. And so I'm bringing that forth, speaking about it, just to say, yeah, it happened. And as I got back into Florida, as I was leaving the Star Knowledge Conference, and we were leaving the mountains there, I could feel a constant pull of my light, all I could generate, and it was going out to the people that lived in the area. People who are not awake, people who are not yet aware, not yet going through their process. It is interesting, though, as I traveled across country, leaving the Phoenix area, going up to Sedona, up in Flagstaff, and then going east on 40 to Dallas and down Mississippi, and then back over here to Florida. As I did that route, it was interesting to feel that so many people had increased their frequency and their vibration. That was quite an experience to drive across country and to witness that. And I could hear it. I could hear it when I would stop and get gas, and how people would treat each other and how they would treat me. And I would just observe it. And there's a definite shift that's occurred. It is quite interesting and I noticed it in Mississippi while I was there. There's definitely, people are stepping into the lower fourth dimensional vibrations, and they're coming out of the 3D. And it's quite neat to see. And, of course I want them to be in 5D, be, in their heart and chakra activated and playing on that level or the higher levels, but it's a process. But it was very interesting to get to North Carolina, get up to the Asheville area, and to feel that almost like a sucking effect of the light coming out from the people that need it, and from light that's got to go into Mother Earth in the areas. And that was quite interesting. I was quite surprised to have that happen, especially after having been in the Asheville areas many times before, and coming from Mississippi or Alabama or the deeper South, and feeling that the Asheville energies were much higher there than was the rest of the South. And this time it was almost a reverse. And that's really, really, really interesting. Many people, through their sight and their vision, know that there's a sun disk above that area, and one of the crystalline cities of light, Asheville, is bordering on the north side, the northwest side of. And of course, there's a crystalline city of light above Sedona, and another one above Mount Shasta, and the grid work connects it all. But that is quite interesting to have that area at a lower vibration, and why it is, I cannot understand. I did meet several of those who do grid work and vortex work in that area, and they didn't seem to feel what I felt. But then there again, I've been out west in a very high vibrating vortex area, it is what it is. I can't explain it. But anyway, we had a wonderful, wonderful conference, and afterwards I left and came back to the Tampa Bay area with Kim, and was able to ride my bike in the Tampa Bay area and up and down the beach and across Dunedin Causeway. I want to let everybody know that as I was coming east and hit the Gulf, I had seen oil sheen all across the Mississippi area, across Mobile Bay, across Pensacola Bay. Had seen it on some of the rivers as I was coming in too, as the tides were coming in and bringing up oil sheen up the rivers. When I got to Tampa after Star Knowledge and was riding my bike across the Dunedin Causeway, I noticed that there's heavy, heavy Crexit bubbles in the oil sheen there. And it's fresh sprayed after my years of reporting on it now, from being just a few miles, 75, 80 miles north of where the Deepwater Horizon went down, and documenting and filming the oil rains that were going on that very few people even admit happened, but they happened, and I did a good job of documenting it. Anyway, I'm quite well versed in what Crexit looks like when it's fresh sprayed, and it is definitely around that area in Tampa Bay, Dunedin, St. Pete, all around that area. You can see the water. The water's still a beautiful blue color, but on top of the water there's a heavy sheen, and it's within that sheen that you always see the Crexit bubbles, and a lot of times it'll come in and out looking similar to a tide line. In a tide line you'll see bubbles where the tide goes in offshore and out and then comes back in, and where the tide comes in and out going up and down the shore, you'll see a line of bubbles or a clear tide line there. This is not like that at all. This looks like somebody took a bubble bath. It's the foamy, scrubby bubbles and it's brown. You can very clearly see what it is. And anyway, I just wanted to say that is definitely going on. Part of my return east, I started getting the message, just like I did to go west to Sedona in the end of 2010, 1st of August 2010, after they capped the Macondo well, supposedly, the one of several drill holes that they actually put there. I started getting the message to go west and do vortex activation, and in July, after we had done the last Star Knowledge conference at Mount Shasta, I started getting messages that it's time to go back down to the Gulf area, and I didn't know exactly how it was going to happen or manifest or what was going to occur. I just knew that I was headed back to this area. And it's kind of funny because there's several different things that's going on in the Gulf area. Of course, you know about the Louisiana sinkhole, and right now that whole dome is collapsing above the salt dome, filled with radiation inside that dome, and it's got another salt dome of liquid propane and liquid butane on adjacent to it within a few hundred yards of the dome that's packed full of the radiation debris. We have that, and we've got the seafloor that's where the Macondo rig was, that is leaking oil all over the place. And I am now here 10 miles to the east of Crystal River nuclear power plant, which Arnie Gunderson says is the most contaminated, worst, most dangerous one on the planet right now, or in the United States right now, and it's where all the manatees live. So anyway, this is my new mission. And we're doing aquaponics here, and got a killer place. It's 8 acres, and it's going to be an interesting experiment. Anyway, this is my first vid, and I just want, since I got back, just want to say hi and bye to all you guys. I'll do another one soon. Love you. Bye for now.